Escape to a land where it's no work and all play. There's no such thing as speed limits.
Tyler on shot on the edge of the area, ball back into the area, and Ketia with the header! Yes! It's there!
Tyler Roberts chasing to this one. Here is Tyler Roberts inside the area. Tyler sticks it over, and Tyler Roberts makes it two!
Gary Kelly's corner. It's a good one, and it's in from Rob Hulse. Leeds lead.
Good afternoon and happy Boxing Day if you're celebrating, and if you were celebrating Christmas yesterday, we hope you had a good one. The Leeds United team gave us an early Christmas present on Saturday as they beat second place Ipswich Town 4-0 here at Ellen Road, and today they head to Deepdale looking to continue that form against Preston. Today we are joined by a former Leeds United women's captain and all-round excellent person, Bridie Hannon. How are you, Bridie?
I have promised I've not paid her to say that, by the way. But yeah, I'm brilliant, thank you.
Did you have a good Christmas?
I did, it was lovely, thank you, yeah. Even better that I'm spending Boxing Day with you guys.
We did pay her to say that. Look, another early kick-off, straight back to it. We speak all the time about how congested it is over Christmas. But in terms of preparation, when you reflect on that win against Ipswich, we couldn't have prepared better, really, could we?
No, like you say, we've not had a lot of time to prepare at all since Saturday, but in some respects that may well work in our favour, especially when you're on the winning bandwagon. You know, what a fantastic performance it was. The guys are going to be full of confidence. And, you know, with the early kick-off today, it definitely adds pressure onto Ipswich, who are playing obviously later on this afternoon.
How important is it, Bridie, that we keep that pressure on?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we're only a few points behind, 7 points behind Ipswich. Obviously, that win today does add the extra pressure on. We've got Southampton, obviously, who are on our toes as well. There's a lot of points up for grabs during this festive period, and you know, there's significantly, you know, it can change the way the league standings are and things like that. So it's really important that we get that win today and we keep piling the pressure on.
Yeah, we can see the teams arriving there over at Deepdale. And you mentioned the importance of this period in terms of shaping the league, Bridie. How crucial is this time when you look at how many points are up for grabs?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously still quite a long way to go, and you know, no season was kind of won and lost just over this period. But you know, there is quite a lot of stats to back up that, you know, depending on where you are around the Christmas period, does set you up in good stead in terms of that promotion push. And I think when you look at, you know, Leicester this season, I can't see them dropping that many points. You know, we have beaten Leicester this season, as you know, and we've done the double over Ipswich. I like saying that. But yeah, there's still a lot of points up for grabs. You know, the guys will know how important, you know, today's fixture is and the rest of the fixtures, and they'll prepare like they go into every game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to today. I'm hoping it's another big 3 points on the board.
Yeah, and like you say, we've done the double over Ipswich. They've conceded 8 goals when they've played against us. What message does that send to the rest of the league, Bridie?
That we're the best team in the league, Emma, of course. But no, I think it wasn't just any win. It was a bit of a statement win. I think, you know, we were clinical in both ends of the pitch. I think it's great that obviously our strikers, you know, were on the score sheet as well. But defensively, I thought was absolutely amazing, and that's something that we have struggled in the past. And you know, even, you know, the Bielsa days, which, you know, I'm sure we all absolutely love. But you know, we did concede quite a few, and we were known to be quite vulnerable at the back. But I think that's something that Daniel Farke's, really kind of sorted out this season in terms of the balance. And I think we just look fantastic at both ends of the pitch.
Well, look, we'll look back at those goals very shortly, and we'll reflect on, the effectiveness at both ends of the pitch, like you say. But before that, team news-wise, we know that it's unchanged, and we talk about the fact that Daniel Farke clearly has his favoured starting 11. But when you look at how congested the fixtures are at this time of year, is there a worry about tired legs Friday?
There is, yeah. Like you said, there is a lot of fixtures, and I think, ordinarily at this time of year with a lot of games coming up, you want to be mixing the team up a bit and giving the, some of the subs some game time. But having said that, we have done that earlier on in the season, and, we've ended up drawing games. So I think, Daniel Farke's not going to want to risk losing any points today. He's going to want to play the same team that played against Ipswich. And I think rightly so. I think, the players that played in that game, deserve to start after that win. But I think, all the subs need to be ready to come on and perform, because, as I say, we can't afford to drop points today. But, hopefully today will be a nice, comfortable game, I'm saying now. And hopefully we can put the game to bed at half-time so we can bring some subs on a little bit earlier. And, that's what we did against Ipswich. I think we made our first sub in the 60th minute or something like that. So, that would have helped us to prepare for today as well.
And when you look at the bench, it's great that we can see Sam Byram is back on the bench and Jayden Anthony. And we talk so much about the strength and quality of the bench, which is something that when you look at some of the other sides in the Championship, they don't necessarily have in comparison.
They don't, and I think it's something that we have struggled with in the past a little bit, but we've got a lot of strength and depth. And, when you look at the bench, some teams in the league will be looking at that bench thinking, how on earth are they not playing? And it must be a real dilemma for Daniel Farke on a weekly basis. But, we are lucky in that respect, and this is why we are in the position that we're in. And when you think about where we were at the beginning of the season, we had a couple of pretty poor results for our standards, but to be where we are now at this stage in the season, I think most people would have bit your hand off.
We absolutely would. Okay, let's head over to Deepdale for the first time today then, shall we, and hear from our commentary team of Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo.
Cold, clear and bright here at Deepdale. We've made the trip over. Loads of Leeds fans will be doing likewise. Looking forward to the game against Preston North End. Team news, very straightforward. Leeds keep the same starting 11.
A little bit of a surprise, but then you look at the performance of the last game out, 4-0. What I remember is when you're winning, suddenly the energy is there. So I think that's what Daniel Farke wants to do, to make sure that after such a good result, really, really strong 11 and sent out again to get another 3 points, because it's still 3 points. It's a huge game today.
He has talked about rotation ahead of this really busy period of games that Leeds are in the midst of. So not today, maybe the next one, maybe.
Yeah, and I also think depending on how we go at the hour mark, let's see what happens then as well. So there will be some rotation, but trying to do it at the right time is difficult. Of course, I always think back to the Stoke game where we started to see a little bit of rotation. That performance was not a good one and we lost that game. So we don't want any sort of repeat there. But over this period, there's bound to be, but not just yet.
And of course he'll want to maintain the momentum established with a great performance and result on Saturday.
It was a statement, but you've got to follow up that statement. And we talked to Daniel Farke certainly earlier in the season to say, is that a statement win? He said, well, I want a statement every single week. And that's what it's about. So a few days later, sent out here, it's going to be a difficult game, early start, but I think the boys will be focused and they'll put on a good performance.
I mean, if you look on form, Preston are in a bit of a mess currently, aren't they? They had a great start to the season, but it's fallen away.
It has. We can look at form. The players shouldn't, in that this is going to be a difficult game. Preston's going to love us coming here. It's a huge game. They're going to think the same thing. You know what? We can turn our season around. This is where it can start. All of those sort of things. They need to be up to that sort of attitude and then go fight fire with fire and then show how good they are on top of that.
So there you go. Big game ahead here for Leeds United as they take on Preston at Deepdale.
Cheers for that, Bridie and Tony. I think Tony DeRigo had been listening to you.
I think he had, yeah.
Copy and paste that. Something Tony did say actually after the Ipswich game was, when you look at our fixtures, it's almost the games against the likes of the Ipswich or the Leicester where we are going to get those opportunities because they're going to come out, they're going to want something from the game. When you look at this Preston side, could they be a slightly more difficult side to break down, do you think?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because watching Daniel Farke kind of pre-match, he thinks that Preston are going to come out there and be quite aggressive and attacking minded and, quite intense. But I think if Preston have done their homework, they'll see that there has been times this season where we have struggled, where teams have played quite defensively. And I think therefore we've then been a little bit frustrated and kind of, changed the way we play a little bit. So, it'll be interesting to see how they set up today. I think, you know, they do have a threat on the left-hand side in Liam Miller, but I'm quite shocked to see that their top goal scorer is not playing today. He's on the bench, so it'll be interesting to see if he actually comes on. But, you know, speaking about that left-hand side, you know, there's not very many people that have got the better of Archie Gray this season, so hopefully he can nullify any threat down that side.
And like we heard Bridie and Tony say there as well, they will almost be looking at this game thinking, could this be a game changer for our season? Understandably, when you look at their recent run of form.
Yeah, they've not had a good run of form at all. You know, they're quite hit and miss. I think the manager's obviously under quite a lot of pressure. He's going to want a result today. You know, they're at home. I believe they've lost the last 3 home games or something like that. But, you know, they've got a record attendance today. So, you know, they're going to hope that the crowd's going to get behind them. But equally, you know, we've got a good away crowd as well. So I'm hoping that, you know, we'll hopefully score an early goal, quieten the crowd down a little bit. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they set up today.
Well, before we continue to look ahead, let's look back, shall we, at those 4 games against Ipswich at the weekend, because this really was the complete performance, wasn't it, Bridie? I know you said that earlier about being clinical in front of goal and defensively managing to not concede. It was every area on the pitch. Myself and Michael Bridges spoke about this. Everybody seemed to just know exactly what they were doing and what their role was.
Yeah, and know what each other's role was,
yeah.
Absolutely as well. And I think, you know, when I think defensively, I think Joe Rodon this season has been absolutely fantastic. I think, you know, it's shown you their strikes. Since he's had the captain's armband, he's just been a different player this season. You know, defensive midfielder wise, you know, everybody's doing their defensive bit. And going forward, you know, we are on fire this season. Obviously, Somerville's been fantastic. So, you know, I don't actually see any vulnerabilities in this Leeds United team, which is, you know, amazing for a Leeds fan. And it's something that, you know, we've been, you know, looking forward to watching every single week. So, yeah.
And you're absolutely right there, because we talk so much about the attacking threat of this Leeds United side, but actually to not concede against the highest scorers in the league is exceptional, isn't it?
Yeah, like I said, I think it was 2 shots in total they had. And, you know, when I think back to the game, I can't remember them really posing that much threat. And, you know, I can't remember kind of last-ditch challenges and things like that. I think, you know, the midfielders in particular, Kamara and Ampadu, you know, they read the game so well and they really do cover the defence a lot. So I think, you know, as a defender myself, when you've got players like that in front of you, it really does make your job easier.
And when you've got players like Crescencio Somerville on the pitch, the job of everybody, in fact, do you know what? The job of all of his teammates must be so much easier having a player of that quality and standard.
Oh, Emma, I would absolutely hate to play against somebody like that, because he's just got pace, he's got trickery, he's intelligent. And I think, you know, what I find about Somerville, he's changed throughout this season. I think a little bit at the beginning of the season, I found that because he is so direct, and I love that about him, I think, you know, sometimes he was guilty of taking a couple, you know, more players on than what he maybe should have done. But, you know, as the season's gone on, under Daniel Farke, he's really matured, and he's looking now to the left and right, and actually you can see he's getting some assists as well. I think he might have had 6 assists this season. So he's really kind of matured as the season's gone on, and he's still really young. He's got a lot to learn, but, you know, the goals and the assists and his just all-round play is just improving week by week.
Look, there is still quite a gap between us and Ipswich and Leicester, but looking at that performance, when you look back on it, you would not have known there was that points difference, would you?
Not at all. I mean, like I said, we dominated the game, and I think, you know, obviously we were 3-0 up at half time, but then in the second half it was a mature performance. You know, we did score 1, we didn't concede any, as we've said, but it was just a really kind of mature performance compared to maybe historical seasons where we've struggled kind of defensively. But no, it was just a really, really good performance. And, you know, I think, you know, the boys after the game, you know, you could see how much it meant to them, and the passion. We talk about the passion, but everybody was just, it was like we'd almost won the league a little bit.
It really was.
It meant a lot to them.
You could see how much it meant to Daniel Farke as well. And after this game, after the game against Ipswich, he caught up with the press to look ahead to today's game against Preston.
Yes, it was definitely all right today. Just like these 3 points today won't help at all for the game away at Preston, because Preston plays a completely different style of football in comparison to Ipswich. It's a completely different approach, and for me it's also no coincidence that they had such an impressive start into the season. So this side, especially in the home games, plays with lots of intensity and lots of physicality and pretty direct and aggressiveness, and you have to be ready for the battle. And I think, especially in the home games, and especially after perhaps even a bit poorer result, they will be even more on it in the home game, because they know with a good performance, a good result against Leeds United, they can also win their momentum back. So we have to be fully aware that it will be a battle, and we have to be ready for a completely different approach. And it's a really dangerous side and a tough place to go. We have to be at our best in order to win the points again. We are in a period when sadly we have to go 3 weeks more or less without a day off. It's a bit stranger because normally during this time everyone wants to spend some time with the family, but I also tell my players they lead such a privileged life. This is also the price you have to pay sometimes, and I don't want to hear any moans or something like this about this. So they have to be professional. For that, yes, we are in tomorrow, recovery session for the players who were pretty much involved today. Proper session on the pitch for a smaller group of players who didn't have that many minutes. Then, yeah, for me and my coaching staff, already more analyzing and preparing for Preston. Then the day after Christmas Day, training, also team meeting about Preston, the way they play, the travel to Preston. Then we spent the day in the hotel or the night in the hotel and then the game. And yes, then you have to repeat everything for the next games because it's always the same turnaround. So it's important that the players spend even more importance on their nutrition, on their sleep, on good recovery, on good habits. That's quite crucial and needs lots of work. But it's important during this time of the year and this festive period. You have to win many points if you want to finish in a good position, and for that we have to be absolutely professional.
We heard Daniel Farke say there, Bridie, that it's going to be a different kind of game. Do you think that's because of how Preston are going to approach it?
Well, I think it's difficult because I think at this point we're not sure how Preston will approach it, but Daniel Farke will have done his homework. He will have been watching some of their previous games and things like that. I believe it's the first time we played them this season as well, so I just think this Preston team are a little bit hit and miss, so it'd be really interesting to see how we set up. And as I say, it might be something that after the first 10 minutes it's a different kettle of fish type thing, and he might need to change it. But I think with this Leeds United team, we generally don't change our game for anybody. Like I said, we like possession, we like to have the ball, we like to play through the thirds, and obviously we're very attacking minded, so I don't think we'll change our game plan so much, but it'd be interesting, like I said, to see how they play.
And he spoke as well, Bridie, about preparing in the time that you have, just doing what you can with the time you've got. How much more difficult is that when the time you've got is also Christmas Day?
It's really difficult. I mean, the guys will be making sacrifices on Christmas Day. I'm sure they won't be stuffing their faces like what me and you did on Christmas Day.
Speak for yourself.
But, they'll have been in bed early last night. They'll be up early. They'll go through all the analysis and, like Daniel Farke said, the team meetings and things like that. But these guys are professional footballers. It's not something that's been sprung upon them. They knew the fixture list. And ultimately, it is the same for every team in the league. So, everybody will be preparing in a very similar way. But yeah, just that whole nutrition and getting the rest and everything like that is so important.
We can see the players just getting warmed up over there at Deepdale. But in terms of this Preston side, I know you've said we don't know exactly what their approach is going to be, but if you were to take an educated guess based on the fact that they're sitting mid-table, they're on a bad run of form at the minute, 1 win in 7, what's their approach going to be when they look at how this Leeds United side play?
I think they will try and put the pressure on us. Like I said, I think, in my head I'm thinking, will they play defensively? Will they settle for a draw? But, realistically, they need a win as well because, they want to get up to that promotion spot and they're not too far away. And with, pressure on the manager, they've had a couple of really poor results recently and they've conceded a fair few goals. They're not going to want to do that again, and the fans are certainly not going to want to see that. So, they probably will come out at us, especially in the first 10 minutes. But Leeds just need to make sure that we keep our heads on and stay focused.
Especially when this Preston side, they started really well, actually. They had an opposing start to the season as Leeds United. We've built our way up the table. They started almost at the top of the table.
Opposite,
so for them, it's really disappointing to be sitting mid-table now.
It is, but all it takes is a few wins on the bounce, and like I said, the league can significantly change. And I think when I initially looked at the league table, I thought, easy win this. Leeds are third, Preston a 13th, I believe.
Right, it's never an easy win. This is Leeds United.
It is, you're absolutely right. But actually, when I looked at the points, I thought, there's only a few points in it. So, yeah, I hope today that we get the win for us.
Don't we all? Right, as it is the festive period, we've been challenging the Leeds United team to some festive games. And if you haven't seen it yet, this is our version of What's in the Box.
Yes, I'm not looking. Hey! Don't like this.
What is it?
Nutcracker.
This is festive What's in the Box.
How you call this?
No, you gotta go that way.
Like this.
How do you call it?
There. The one with the... No? Christmas tree? Is it something about Christmas? Christmas tree? No. Okay, wait.
I don't know the name in English.
The small guys, right? How do you call them?
Elf on the Shelf.
Elfie, yeah. But you know, these lengths are so long, so I thought, oh, maybe it's a Christmas tree or something.
Hat, Christmas hat. Easy. Alright, I'll wear this for the best. A driver cover in golf. Yes.
I would give this to Mr. Pascal Struijk over there. He's a great golfer, yes.
Tree topper. I think I have the exact same star.
A scarf. Well, I can't see it, can I? I'm not going to say a sock.
Christmas hat.
Yes. I don't know the.
French.
Chaussons, slippers, yeah.
Like socks. 2 out of 2. Easy. Oh, what's it called? Oh, why? I actually hate these. Yeah, it's something to eat. Like a small cake.
Is it like a apple crumble cake or something like that?
It's not a jam tart, is it? Mince pie.
Mince? Is this beef? I actually like that, it's not bad.
The one that you pull and they just explode.
A Christmas cracker.
Christmas cracker, yeah? Can I do it? Hey! Pablo Hernandez played a key role in Leeds United winning promotion to the Premier League. In what year did he first join the club? You're not a good Leeds fan, you know. Are you filming this one?
Gento.
Oh my god.
Santa Claus?
Like reindeer.
No. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is too easy. I've had this on my head, I think.
Oh yeah.
Is it not? Is it a dog jumper?
Yes, it is. A dog jumper. How did you get that?
It feels like the material for either a hat or a scarf. It's not. I have 2 dogs. I buy them jumpers.
Would you give that for your dog?
I would actually. I think it would be funny. Joyeux Noël.
Tjusita kolleren.
Vrolijk kerstfeest.
Merry Christmas.
Well, we know what Pascal's dogs are getting for Christmas then.
We talk about match preparation, and what better preparation than that?
But even just watching that, you can see that there's so many big and great characters in this Leeds United squad. And you'll know from your time playing how important it is that to have those personalities.
It's amazing. You can see it on the pitch as well, how well that the guys just gel together and play together like they've been playing for years. And you know, this year we've obviously got some new signings in as well, and players that have come up from the 23s, like we've already spoke about Somerville, but they really do gel really well together as a team, and you can see that. And you know, seeing the stuff that they do off the field and all the things that they do at Thorpe Arch and things like that is just it's great to see.
It really is. Look, we are a matter of a few minutes away from kick-off over at Deepdale. How important is the start of the game going to be? Because I know you said the first 10 minutes everything might change, but actually how crucial is it to get a good start in this game?
I think for any Leeds fan we want an early goal, right? And I think that just settles all the nerves and everything. But I think what I love about this Leeds United team is the fact that we're relentless. So even if we do score an early goal, we're not just going to sit back and just think, oh, that's great, it's a 1-0 win. We're going to want to go for 2, 3, 4 and 5, and hopefully we can do that. And like what I said earlier on, you know, it'd be absolutely brilliant if we can bring some of the subs on a little bit earlier and give them a little bit of game time and get them to be back enjoying the football, I guess.
And actually something that we've seen so often this season, Bridie, is that even when we have conceded in the first half, whatever Daniel Farkas says to these players at half time, he clearly sprinkles a little bit of magic on them, because we have then come out and scored quite early in the second half. So we have this ability to put games to bed even when we concede first.
That's it. And a lot of the time it's psychological when you go behind, and you know, it can do one of two things. It can either kind of make you go into a bit of a shell and kind of make more mistakes and then concede even more, or it can bring a reaction out the players, and it does that. And I think we've been fortunate enough this season to go in front more often than not, so we've not found ourselves too many times in that position, fortunately. But like what you said, you know, when we do, the players react and we don't let it, you know, impact us for the rest of the game.
And I know you've got an epic stat that you want to share with us, so I'm going to give you the opportunity to do that. This is a huge game for Preston over at Deepdale. We know that there's thousands of travelling Leeds United fans. Give us your stat, Bridie.
Okay, so if my sources are correct, which I'm sure they are, we played Preston at Deepdale a few years ago, 2016, and we beat them 4-1. So therefore, my match prediction today is that we're going to have a repeat of that and we're going to win 4-1.
That wasn't the stat I was expecting. She did have another stat earlier, but thank you. I've not even asked her for a match prediction. She's just given that to me. I thought you had a stat about the 1970s.
Oh,
you can refer to your notes.
No, it's fine. It's the attendance. So it's a sellout today. It's the biggest attendance since 1971 at Deepdale.
I love that. Any other stats that you'd like to share with us?
No, I think we're good for now. Until next time.
How much do you wish you were there today and not here with us in the studio?
I do, but there were no traffic today, so that's always a bonus. But I love
nothing to do with
live.
spending time with the best mate then, no. Just on that though, did you say, was it 4-1 was your score prediction?
Yes.
I feel like that's a little bit too optimistic.
Do you?
I'm too scared to say 4-1. I'll never commit.
No.
Who are your goal scorers?
Somerville, Peru, and I'd like to see Rutter on the score sheet as well today.
Wouldn't we all? Okay then, let's head over to Deepdale and join our commentary team of Tony Dorigo and Bryn Law. But before that, let's get the thoughts of Ethan Ampadu.
Well, Ethan, Christmas is out the way, business begins again here. What sort of game do you expect at Preston today?
No, it's going to be a difficult one. They have a unique style, quite direct, quite physical, quite aggressive. We're ready for it.
They haven't been in great form recently, have they? Is that something you can maybe play on today?
You can do, but Boxing Day, sellout crowd. We know that they're going to be up for it. We're prepared for their best. So yeah, hopefully we can just get the job done.
Great support coming over to back the team today. Is it important that the fans are right behind the side from the start in this one?
No, of course, and we expect that. We appreciate everywhere we go, home and away. We always have their full support. And yeah, like you said, Boxing Day, we hope we have their full support from the start, and we hope it's a special day.
Good luck, thank you.
Thank you very much.